Hey everyone, it's Amy from Scrapmaster's Paradise, and today I have a couple of different things to talk about. One of them is yarn, of course, and one of them is a follow-up review. So I am going to start there because that's really what's on my mind, because we actually hung up some frames, which I was super duper excited about. I do have pictures and clips of how it looks, but I ended up wanting to do some of those school, like year by year photos, and I remember my mother-in-law having these for Johnny and his brothers. I remember friends having these. I personally never had one. My mom didn't have one for me because we had photos like everywhere. It was like photo throw up in our house, and still wasn't a super necessary thing for us because there were like school pictures everywhere. But I really liked these, except they were like ovals all the way around. I felt like that just does not fit in with my theme of things. Like, they looked a little bit 90s and old-timey, so I was going online to just go ahead and begrudgingly buy one, and I did not realize they had ones that are like really sleek and white frame with white backgrounds and rectangle pictures, so you could just stick the wallet size or whatever photo in there. I guess it's a little bit bigger than wallet, the ones I picked out, and I just loved them. I loved how like grid style they were. They looked really nice, so I ended up ordering two. Stella's not going to actually start kindergarten for 3 more years, and this one starts at 1st grade, so really we're looking at like 4 years from now I can start filling out her thing. But I figured if I got one now, I would never be able to find the exact same one for Stella later, and it would drive me bonkers. So I went ahead and just ordered 2, and I really like them. I found them on Amazon, and the reason I'm talking about this so excitedly is because I had to print pictures, and I used the PictureMate PM400, and this is the follow-up review. I did a review, I don't know, like right when I first moved to Austin, I ordered a few different mini printers and ended up returning quite a few of those like little tiny compact ones because they printed so horribly, and then ended up keeping the PM400 because it actually prints like photo quality nice photos, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I still use it today. I think we're coming up on our 6-year Austin anniversary, and so I've still been using it. It still works great, just like the first day I ever got it, and you'll see the photos that are in there. I printed the 2 bigger photos, the 5x7s, and that's one thing I love about this printer. It prints 4x6 or anything smaller than 4x6. It just prints it on an actual like physical 4x6 thing, but you can do any sort of collage prints with PicFrame or any of those like collage print type apps. I've reviewed PicFrame in the past, like my favorite apps, and it's still among one of my favorite apps. I use it for any sort of project lifing stuff, and also to help me with Instagram photos, and also to print smaller photos. So again, like you can print anything on a 4x6, and then you also can print 5x7. So you can print up to a 5x7, and I just love this printer. It prints such good quality. I really wanted to just talk about it in today's video because I did use it again, and it had been a little while since I had printed anything on it, and it still worked just fine. I feel like I had a different PictureMate a long time ago. I think it was called a PictureMate Charm, and I had that for a few years, but I found that that would really get gummed up if you didn't print on it pretty regularly, and that was what I found kind of annoying about that one. But this one, I haven't had that problem. I've had to clean the print heads before like 1 or 2 times over like the course of 6 years. I think that's pretty good odds. And I'm not using it every week. I'm sometimes not even using it every month, and it seems to hold up really well. And I love that it's Wi-Fi connected, so I can connect right to my phone with it and print right from my phone. My one complaint about it, which I did, I think, mention in the original review, is still the same complaint I have, is when it is plugged in, it makes some sort of like really high-pitched buzzing sound, but it's very quiet. So like I have to be completely quiet to be able to hear it. So if I'm in here like calmly scrapbooking without music or without TV on, I will be able to hear it, and it will drive me bonkers, so I'll have to unplug it. And it doesn't even have to be like on where the screen is showing up on. It just has to be plugged in, and it will make this humming, high-pitched buzzing sound, and it does drive me bonkers. But I'm really like sound sensitive. Repetitive noises really bug me, and I don't know if I have like low-level sensory processing disorder for sounds, but certain sounds drive me up the absolute wall. And Johnny's like, wow, you're really sensitive to this particular thing, and I'm always the one that controls the volume level. Like on the TV, I'll turn it up and down depending on like how loud different sections get. Like if you're listening to a movie that has a lot of music, you have to turn it down for the music, turn it back up for the talking, and it drives Johnny bonkers when I ask him to turn it up and down. So I always control the remote because I'm very sensitive. All that to say, it might not bother most people when you're hearing the little tiny buzzing sound, but it drives me crazy. So I don't like it at all. I'll leave it unplugged sometimes just because it bothers me if I'm in here a lot. But anyway, all that to say, absolutely still love my PictureMate PM400. I thought, you know, 6 years into it, it probably wouldn't still be working great, and it is. It's still working great. I can still buy the print packs and the paper packs on Amazon, and I like that you can buy them separately so that you can always have enough paper for the ink cartridges, and I feel like it lasts pretty well. So I'm totally still smitten with it, still in love with it, and I wanted to put that in here because people watch that video and sometimes they'll comment like, do you still use this printer? How's this printer holding up? I just want to let you guys know it's still a great buy, and I would recommend it if you want to print at home. It's just such a great option. Speaking of tech, I am in the market, hopefully soon, for a new Cameo. I think I have a Cameo 1 or 2, like way old Cameo, still working great, but now they're Wi-Fi enabled, and now they do a little bit more sensing things, and they look really sleek, and they come in lots of pretty colors, including pink, and I would really like a pink one. So I'm looking at them now. They're on Cameo, I think 4 now. So I'm really excited about them. I do like the bigger ones because you can cut bigger things. So I'm thinking about maybe upgrading to the bigger size. I can have like the 12 by 12 size and the giant one, but I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about it, but I have my eye on that Cameo. So that's just something I'm researching a little bit and thinking about. So that's all the scrappy goodness I have to talk about. Now we're going to talk yarn, and I want to tell you guys and show you guys I finished the front panel of, well, what was supposed to be the front panel of that heart sweater. I finished it all, squared it off with all the like side pieces, and then she said, okay, repeat this now again and make the back panel. So since it's the exact same thing for the front panel and back panel, this is now my back panel because it is just not where I want it to be. And there's a couple things on here. So here's what it looks like. This is like the neck hole, and it's gonna be like, you know, poofy. So it's a little bit oversized. I really like it. I think the sizing was right, and I really liked how it turned out. But the part that really bugs me is, you know, I was going to continue the ombre yarn around the color changing yarn. And then I decided not to, but I didn't go back and fix this little like purple smudge here. So this is going to be the back just based on that, and just based on this is my first try at it, and I'm sure the second try will look a lot nicer. So it's going to be the back panel. I really like how, you know, it's squared up on the sides, and it's also squared up on the bottom. And I think it just turned out really cute. I love the coloring on this. It is kind of annoying to like cut your yarn and roll it up. I'll show you guys what I have going on here. I didn't roll up the last little bit of the dark blue, but like it's all like rolled up in balls. And then I ended up pulling out the last one I have. So I ended up getting 3 of these. I thought I had ordered more, but I did not. So I'm gonna have to order more at some point when I use this up, because I think it's gonna take at least 4 cakes at this rate. So we'll see how far I can get with it, but I'm thinking I'll probably need a 4th one. And so this is the back panel, and I've just now started the neck hole spot on this one. And I think this one looks way cleaner and way better because I did end up cutting the yarn. I started with a different color on this one because I wanted the middle heart to be pink. I thought it was cute. So I've been piecing it together, and I just feel like these stitches look a little bit tighter. They look a little bit more like I know what I'm doing. And then also just the middle heart looks way better than the heart that had like the extra piece out of this. So this is going to be the front. Like I'm working on just starting the neck hole right now, and I would be a little bit further along on this. We did end up taking a mini beach vacation this last weekend, just made it a 4-day weekend, and it was really fun. It was Stella's first time going to the beach, and actually her first vacation at all. She's a Rona baby, so we didn't really go anywhere with her yet, but this was our first little test run vacation, and it was really great. But I didn't want to bring a whole lot of stuff with me. I did want to work on crocheting, but this one I have to follow. I'll watch the steps that she does on the YouTube video, then do the 1 or 2 rows around, and then I have to turn the YouTube video back on, and I didn't want to have to bring my laptop. I didn't want to have to use another device to follow the YouTube tutorial when I have it like up on my laptop ready to go at all times right now. So I ended up leaving this project at home. I do need to work on this one some more, but I went back to my chevron blanket. So I ended up getting more cakes for this. I had 3 that I had used before, and now I'm on my 5th one now. I ended up ordering 3 more, so I have 6 total to work with, and I think that's gonna make this blanket big enough. So this is just starting my 5th cake. So it looks like a nice size blanket, and it's coming together really nicely. It is a like 7-row repeat or something like that, 5-row repeat, quite a few rows. So you get a really cool pattern on this one. I've shown this one in my last Wednesday talk, my last Wednesday craft talk video, but I really like this one. I'm going to be setting this one aside and working on the heart sweater a little bit more. I find that I want to do certain projects. So if I'm like doing something mindless where I don't want to have to follow along, I will work on this one. Like at night when I'm tired, I want to work on this one. But like if I have a moment at quiet time, I'll like do chores and then I'll be able to sit and relax for a little while. Then I can pull out the heart sweater and just follow it along while watching a YouTube video or something. I'll like pause that one, do my stitching while I'm watching something I want to watch, and it's really fun to do that. But I don't always want to have the computer with me and have to follow along with something. So I love having like a bigger project that's just mostly just repeats, and it makes it so much nicer than having to pause and follow along the entire time. It's the same with the little like animal things. It's really hard for me to do those mindlessly because I have to like count stitches, I have to know what row I'm on. And blankets are just so much easier. So I really enjoy making blankets in particular because they are just not necessarily like faster paced, but more mindless and more repetitive. So I can just get into a groove with it and don't have to really think about it too much. So I'm pretty sure that chevron blanket, I will end it with the 6th cake so I don't have to buy more of that. And I was a little bit disappointed. I thought I had ordered more of the unicorn, but I had ordered a different color. I had ordered the one for the blanket. So I will just work on this as I go. I do have one more thing to talk about. Since my little heart stuff was already in my like granny carry along basket, I ended up bringing a different tote. I ended up putting my blanket and cakes, and this is the heart sweater hook, but I have another hook for the other one. I ended up putting everything in our little Lion King tote. We ended up seeing Lion King on Broadway a couple of weeks ago and just put everything in this little tote, and it held all of the yarn and stuff perfectly. It's like a tote bag is like the perfect size for a blanket to carry along with you, and it seems kind of silly, but I have totally taken one of these to various places. Like if I take Olivia to some place where she's gonna just go run around and I'm gonna sit there and just like stare at the wall or stare at my phone, I will bring a blanket in a tote bag with me. And it seems kind of silly, but it totally works. And I've had people come up to me and like ask me what I'm doing and look at it and be like, wow, you're making that? I'm sure there's a lot of people going, WTF, like what is she doing over there? But it just keeps me busy, and it keeps me just from mindlessly scrolling in those situations when it's just me and my kid, and my kid's like running off and playing with bunches of other kids. It gives me something to do. So I definitely recommend having a tote bag if you're going to be crocheting and you can just carry it around with you. It sounds silly, but it actually works really well. So yeah, that is it for this week's Crafty Wednesday. I know this is getting posted late because it's actually technically Wednesday when I'm filming this. We just got back Monday, and Tuesday was totally like a catch-all day. So I'm just now getting back into a little bit of a groove of filming and things. So I do apologize this is a little late, but I really like the idea of coming here, sitting down Wednesday, sharing what is on my mind, or sharing what projects I'm working on, or what things I have done. So I hope you guys liked this little Crafty Wednesday. That's what I'm calling it right now, just because it came into my head while I'm sitting here. I didn't start this video saying Crafty Wednesday, but now I think it's gonna stick because I kind of like the sound of it. So I hope you guys liked it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will be back next Wednesday for another one. And also be sure to let me know what you're working on, what crafty things you've been getting into, what crafty things are on your to-do list. I want to hear all about it in the comment section, and I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.